Hey everyone, Pastor Jason here with another edition of TC Talk. My question for you today is, what are you hiding? Whoa, right off the bat, Pastor Jason's asking a hard-hitting question. Yes. See, some weeks we like to talk about good stuff, but other weeks we have to talk about stuff that it hits a little bit harder. See, in our lives, we have battles, and we all know that. We've been going through the series, The Fight for Your Life, and we've been talking about great things that can happen in battles. We talked about how God is with us. Last time we talked about how when we are obedient to what God has, we can do the impossible. We can be a part of what God has for us. But what happens if we're disobedient? Well, we're going to find out. You see, last time, the Israelites, they went to Jericho, and God said, I've already delivered Jericho to you. And so all he said is, just be obedient. Do what I say and you'll be just fine. And so they did. They, as we know, they walked around the walls of Jericho once a day for 6 days. And then on the seventh day, they did it 7 times. And then when they finished, they screamed really loud and the walls of Jericho fell in. And everyone in Jericho was conquered. And Joshua said, don't take anything. Jericho worshipped idols. Don't take anything. This stuff is for the idols. Don't take anything, or you too will be destroyed. Well, as we know, one bad apple spoils the whole bunch. It turns out a man named Achan and his family took some stuff. It wasn't even that valuable of stuff, but they took stuff, and no one knew about it except for them. So Israel goes on to the next town, and they say, we got this. They send 3,000 men to fight this town. No big deal. We got this. Unfortunately, they lost. Not only did they lose, not only did they have to retreat, but 36 men died that day. And that may not sound like a lot, but think about this. 36 men were killed by this small town compared to 0 with Jericho. All of a sudden, Israel realized they could be defeated. See, the only one that could defeat the Israelites were themselves. And so Joshua goes before God, and he says, God, why did this happen? And God says, well, Israel has sinned. They've taken stuff from Jericho. You cannot stand if you have sinned. That's what God says. So he says, I'm going to point out to you who it is. And so they did the process, and it came back to Achan. See, Achan thought he could have his sin be a secret. He thought no one will know, not going to hurt anyone, not going to harm anyone. However, it did. Israel could not win because of one man's sin. It affected so many more people. And so Achan finally confessed, this is what happened, and after it was discovered, and so he brought everything forth, this is what I took, and he had to face the consequences, which was the fact that he died. They killed him because of his sin. And I know that can sound harsh, but the wages of sin is death. We talk about a spiritual death, but it could also be a physical death. As soon as Achan's secret sin was taken care of, Israel was able to go on and win their fights, win their battles. It's the same thing for us. In our lives, when we face battles, sometimes we feel like, I can't get past this battle. I can't win. And a lot of times the problem is not with God, but it's with us. You see, yes, God puts us through battles so we can grow and learn. But sometimes God says, I can't fight for you when you have sin in your life. You can't stand if you have this sin. And so God says, I want you to get rid of the secretness. The Bible tells us we are to confess our sins to one another. And when we do, God forgives us. Now, I'm not saying go on Facebook, air out your dirty laundry. I'm addicted to fill in the blank. I've been dealing with this. I'm not saying do that. But what I believe is that we should have someone in our lives that will hold us accountable. Someone that we can go to and just be real with. And say, look, this is what I'm dealing with. I need you to help me. Pray for me. Talk to me every so often. Ask me how I'm doing. Keep me real. Because when we do that, when we're raw and honest, that's how we can grow. That's how we can get past our secret sin. When we do that, the secretness no longer has power over us. So church, as you go throughout this week, ask yourself, what am I really dealing with? Is there anything in my life that's a secret that I've been holding on to? I don't want others to think badly of me. Well, here's the thing. It's better to tell the truth to get the truth out than to just keep it in. Because again, we cannot get past what's going on if it's still a secret. Church, we love you, and we're always praying for you. And whatever's going on in your life, we're here for you. But I'm telling you, find someone to help you out, find someone that can hold you accountable, and just be real. Because God already sees the real us. God already knows everything that's going on. We can't hide it from him. So all we're doing is fooling ourselves. And that's all. Church, we love you, and we can't wait to see you again. We'll see you soon.